Hello, what's up everyone? It's been a long time, hasn't it? I hope you have all been keeping well. So in today's video, I will be going through a game which I played fairly recently as white. And in this game, I played the Danish Gambit. So theory-wise, I know that the Danish Gambit is not exactly what you would call a sound opening or a sound gambit for that matter, but you can get some rather interesting games with this opening. But let's for example say that your opponent doesn't know how to play against this opening effectively. Then of course, as we will soon see, black can get into big trouble very quickly from the opening itself. Oh yeah, and before we start, there's one last thing which I have to tell you guys. This was not a blitz game, this was a classical game. The time control in specific was 15 plus 15, so we both had ample time to strategize and we weren't just, blitzing out moves here and there. Alright then, so let's get right into our game. So I played the Danish Gambit, and the main purpose of this opening is simply to gambit a pawn or two for a small lead in material development. Bishop b4, very logical, and here is the first surprise of the game. Instead of playing something like knight bd2, I played king to f1. And I do realize that this is a very unorthodox, strange sort of move, but there is a reason I played this. Anyways, moving on, black simply played knight to f6. And alright, this is a very natural looking move. You are developing a piece. But I responded with e5. And here the best move for black is to play knight to g8, but my opponent played knight to e4. And this is already an inaccuracy, according to the engine at least. I played queen to d5 and I am threatening mate on f7 and the knight on e4 at the exact same time. So okay, he plays knight to g5, safeguarding his knight and also preventing mate on f7. I played f4, trying to force his knight away from the defense of this f7 square. He played knight to e6 and I went f5. Also, this is another important point to remember, so please pay attention here. We are playing the Danish Gambit. We are 2 pawns down. So as a result, we cannot play in a passive defensive style. No, it has to be aggressive. Each and every move, or as often as possible at least, we need to attack black in some way or another. Keep the pressure, keep piling up the pressure on black. Because if you play passively, black will defend and eventually get counterplay, and we will have ultimately sacrifice those 2 pawns for nothing at all. Okay, so moving on. My opponent played c6, after which I played queen to e4, knight to g5, and queen to g4. And here we reach a rather critical moment of the game, where he played h6, which is, as some of you might already see, a terrible blunder, because after h4, the h7 square is the only safe square left for the knight, but if he plays knight to h7, I can simply take this g7 pawn and his rook is hanging, and if he moves his rook away, I can just take the knight, which would be on h7. So seeing this, my opponent instead played bishop to e7, after which I played h takes g5, and he played bishop takes g5, after which I played knight to f3. So here I'm just threatening to take his bishop, and if he takes back with the pawn, I'll just capture his rook. If he takes with the queen, I'll just take back, takes, and win the rook. So he castled and I played rook to h5, simply threatening to capture his bishop once again, captures, and then just attack the g7 pawn. So my opponent played bishop to e3, after which I played e6, and it was in this position that he finally resigned the game, because I am threatening mate here, and if he for example plays something like f6, then I have e7 and this is check. I am going to win his queen. Here actually the best move for me was, instead of e6, is to play f6. So now no matter what black does, it's mate in 6. You can try bishop to g5, but then rook takes, and simply queen takes g5, and no matter what black does here, g6 or anything, it's just mate. So there you have it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this small 70 move miniature featuring the Danish Gambit, how I used it to surprise my opponent. And I also hope to do a small video showcasing some of the other lines in the Danish Gambit, the tricks and traps, and how black should play against this opening. So yeah, please look out for that video. And also, if you guys found this video to be helpful to you, please do consider liking and subscribing, and also feel free to share your thoughts down in the comment section. I would really appreciate that, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you. Peace out. Bye bye.